lock me up, just pull the plug, yeah, I've had enough. Sell me the pieces, sell me for parts. You're all vampire, so you can have a heart. Teardrops. For fun, force feed our fear until our hearts go numb. Addicted to a lonely kind of love. What I wanna know is how we got this stressed out, paranoid. Everything is going dark. Nothing makes me sadder than my head. I'm running out of teardrops. Let it hurt till it stops. I can't keep my grip. I'm slipping away from me. Oh God, everything is so fucked, but I can't feel a thing. The emptiness is heavier than you think. I'm tripping on the edge, high as a kite. I'm never coming down. And if you hear me, guess you know how it feels to be alone. That's how we get this stressed out, paranoid. Everything is going dark. Nothing makes me sadder than my head. I'm running out of teardrops. Let it hurt till it stops. I can't keep my grip. I'm slipping away from me. Oh God, everything is so fucked, but I can't feel a thing. The emptiness is heavier than you think. Suicidal, violent, tragic state of mind. Lost my halo, now I'm my own antichrist. Suicidal, violent, tragic state of mind. Lost my halo, now I'm my own antichrist. Running out of teardrops, let it hurt till it stops. I can't keep my grip, I'm slipping away from me. Oh God, everything is so fucked, but I can't feel a thing. The emptiness is heavier than you think. I'm running out of teardrops, let it hurt till it stops. I can't keep my grip, I'm slipping away from me. Oh God, everything is so fucked, but I can't feel a thing. The emptiness is heavier than you think. The emptiness is heavier than you think.
Welcome everybody to the championship finale here for the JP Designs Open Wheel Tour. Unfortunately, car count not as efficient as we've seen here in the past. However, you know, hopefully these guys still put on a great show, as we saw Henry Klappert spinning out right there. There's Ryan Martin putting qualifying laps down. These guys had 10 minutes of queue time, so before the race starts, we're gonna drag in that man right there. You just saw him on screen, in Blake Kennedy. We're gonna bring him on in here and see if we can get an interview with our championship leader. Blake, you're in the WORC TV booth. You got a copy of it?
Yes, I do.
All right, Blake. Well, I mean, we're scrolling through, seeing everyone putting out some qualifying laps. Looks like we got about 3 people on track right now at the moment. I guess first things first here, Blake, is you basically got this championship locked up. How does that feel?
I mean, it feels amazing. I finally I have something going my way for once. So, you
All right,
know,
man. I mean, I know you've raced some other leagues. You've had a couple interesting finishes to your past couple league races that you've ran in other leagues and all, but um, you know, thinking about your past couple league races, you've finished top five in both of those in a different league. So do you think that you're going to carry that momentum, compete with right now looks like Josh Patterson and Henry Klappert for the win?
I mean, we'll see. I never really got a great lap down in quals, or not quals, practice. And so, I mean, we'll see come race time. Um, I feel like I don't really have to take care of the car too much. I
Hmm.
can actually try to push really hard. So maybe we'll see different outcome.
Yeah, for sure, man. Well, uh, of course, good luck tonight, going for the win. And like I said, Henry Clapper has put down some fast laps throughout practice and quals. So, you guys are teammates. Maybe you guys can tag team Josh Patterson, get something done tonight. Keep it interesting for me up here in the booth, why don't you?
I'll try.
All right, Blake, we'll see you after the race, man.
All right, thanks.
All right, that's your probably eventual champion, Blake Kennedy, um, right there. Not too much to say as these guys qualify. Looks like that's the end of that Q run for whatever driver was out there. Looks like Ryan Martin pulling it into pit road. There's Blake Kennedy right there, putting down himself a lap. And Kennedy has been quick all season. Of course, he won at Bristol. Blake finished second back-to-back races by under a tenth, and actually two photo finishes at that. At Charlotte and Gateway, he really proved his worth on the ovals, but he's kept himself up there on the road courses too. Last week, I believe at Lime Rock, he was P3, or not last week, excuse me. Last race at Lime Rock, I believe he finished P3. So, I mean, Blake has kept himself in podium position on road courses, but he has excelled himself. Um, he's excelled himself on the ovals. I think that's what put him in this position, other than, of course, him making a lot of races. But you've got guys like Henry Clapper, who really, Henry was competing for the championship at one point, but he's very weird and decided not to actually start a couple races, and that really hurt him. So Ryan Martin is P2 in points right now, but Josh Patterson, who's won every road course except for Laguna Seca so far, which was the one track he didn't show up to. Yes, didn't show up to Homestead, excuse me. Um, but Patterson himself may also be looking for a P2 in points today. So, looks like qualifying might be over. We got Josh Patterson sitting on track. There's Ryan Martin. So not sure what Josh is doing. We'll look at him though. He might end up being crowned our eventual winner tonight. So yeah, once again, guys, unfortunately we don't have the leaderboard yet. Having issues getting stuff like that set up. So we're hoping to provide something like that to you um, in the future, of course. So anyways, yeah, there's Josh Patterson right there as qualifying coming to an end here in a couple minutes. I don't believe anybody else is making a last lap Q effort. It looks like just Ryan Martin sitting on pit road. So there's Josh Patterson. And there's Ryan Martin. As we get a good camera angle on him. Maybe not. I don't know. Anyways, so yeah, our two guys. Not much to talk about. Nobody qualifying here. So as we got a couple minutes left, I guess we'll get into a race analysis here. We got 25 laps at Summit Point, and if you aren't familiar, Summit Point, it's a fairly long circuit, I guess. I mean, it's not the longest road course, but Summit Point has, I believe Summit Point is the longest course on our schedule. It's located in West Virginia. I believe it's like the only racetrack in West Virginia, actually. Oh, there's Patterson moving on the track. Anyways, um, it's located actually in Summit Point, West Virginia, ironically, I believe. So, yeah, there's not too much to say about this track. It's not the most popular racetrack, of course. It's got 10 turns. It's 2 miles in length. Yeah. So that's Summit Point for you. Obviously, we're here middle of the day in the afternoon. All that jazz. Fortunately, we couldn't bring the car count to you guys or the leaderboard for tonight. Like I said, everything gonna look better. So, Patterson making his lap. He got a little bit of the sand trap right there, looks like. So, qualifying should be coming to an end momentarily here. As, we'll see. We'll see what kind of lap Patterson puts down here. I believe he's on a pretty solid lap. Through the right-hander. Of course, I mean, Patterson, he's a road course ringer. In fact, that's something that not many people may be aware of, is that Josh Patterson, the reason he wins so many road courses is he thrives on road courses, and now he's the WORC all-time winner in terms of wins. He's got 6 of them, I believe, last time I checked the stat sheet up there. He took a win at Bristol. That was in the Shanna's short track shootout. That was broadcasted over on Bueno Racing Network. He's won basically every road course that WORC has ran besides Lagunasic, as I mentioned, in trucks and in skippies, all that. So, I believe we got these guys set up for a pace lap so they can parade around the track as Josh Patterson, of course, on the pole for today. Blake Kennedy will be starting P2. Patterson kind of messing around. Then we got Ryan Martin and then Henry Klappert. Klappert was super fast in practice, comparing very competitive lap times right next to Josh Patterson on the long run. So that'll be fun to see if we can get Henry Klappert up there up front. He's the man, I think, to watch tonight, besides Josh Patterson. Klappert has 0 league wins ever. So, I mean, I don't know. I think today could be a good day for Mr. Klappert. And, I mean, of course, you know, he is going to have to beat Josh Patterson, as I keep mentioning. And we all know how that goes. Patterson does not lose easily. So, we'll see how it goes. I mean, Patterson is Patterson, of course, so it's all about what we're going to be seeing today here. As Klappert may have just given himself a 1x messing around under pace lap. So we got 5 very dedicated drivers I see. That's unfortunately not the biggest car count today. JP Designs Open Wheel Tour just hasn't gotten the attention it garnered towards even the middle of the season, really. We pulled some solid car counts for races. Charlotte, I believe, at the Oval was our best car count. But, you know, these guys right here, can't leave these 5 hanging. They're going to hopefully put on a show for us today up here in the WORC TV booth. And if you're not familiar with WORC, it's probably going to be the last race that we do in these Skip Barber racing machine. As we have moved to a different format, we're going to include a 3rd league on Tuesday nights. That'll be dirt late models, as we're also ditching the dirt modifieds as well. So we're going to move Tuesday nights, dirt late models. Thursday nights is going to be the truck series, and if that brings any interest to you, $25 to win for the Daytona opener in that truck series. That'll be Thursday, January 28th. Then we also do a sports car series Sunday nights. Sports cars and dirt late models will both start in February. As Josh Patterson shoots out of the gate, and we are green flag. Patterson with a huge jump on Blake
Green
Kennedy.
flag, green flag.
Here, the iRacing systems tell us the green flag is out. Patterson, Kennedy, it looks like Martin, and then Klappert going to file back to 5th. Harrison got a better start than he did. So there is Josh Patterson through turn 1. Gets a lot better turn 1 than Kennedy does. Ethan Harrison runs wide. He's going to be side by side a little bit with Klappert there. Looks like he'll clear him back there though. As Patterson continues to lead, I'm going to zero in real quick. This is very tight for a third. Klappert all over the rear wing of Ethan Harrison. Oh, Kennedy ran wide. Kennedy is off the track. And this is a cluster right here. Ryan Martin maybe moving into P2. As there's Patterson right there making the left-hander, and he's going to start pacing the field. This contact! 3 cars around. Martin, Kennedy, Harrison. Heavy damage to Kennedy, I believe. Not sure what instigated that, and despite us still being green flag for that, we're going to go into WORC replay. Not sure why the yellow did not come out for that one, but we will go to WORC replay momentarily here to go see what happened there with these guys. So we are back here from WORC replay, and we're focused in on Ryan Martin. Right behind him, here's Kennedy, here's Harrison, there's Klappert. So somewhere here, I'm not sure if Kennedy spins into Martin. Oh, yep, Kennedy right there spins into Martin, and then Ethan Harrison tried to go to the inside of it and collects himself into that mess. And Henry Klappert, good job avoiding that one as Klappert escapes by on the inside line. So, I mean, once again, I am not sure why that was not called a yellow, but, you know, things happen, it is what it is, and we'll just keep the thing green flag here as we will zero back in on Ethan Harrison, who runs himself wide, and oh, the Harrison up and over. Off into the dirt hill. And Harrison is stuck. He's going to have to tow that thing back. Meanwhile, there's Ryan Martin and Blake Kennedy. It looks like Kennedy will take over at 3rd place. Here's Henry Klappert, who avoided that wreck. Skip by the inside, and you hear his tires screaming as he slides through that corner. Fortunately, since Klappert had to avoid that, I think he had to check up a lot, and Josh Patterson, as we know, super fast. I don't think Patterson's going to give him a chance here. As we are simply just on lap 3 now, and this has become Patterson versus Klappert. Klappert can see him on the straightaway, and Kennedy's actually not that far back. Kennedy didn't lose too much ground, but you got to think that that damage to his, at least his rear wing, could possibly be affecting him. As there's Klappert right there through turn 1. And there's Patterson as he makes left-hand corner, turn 2, I believe. Oh, Patterson slides off almost into the dirt. And we'll see now if Klappert replicates that as well, as Klappert's going to blow the corner even more. Klappert way off into the dirt. I believe that was 2 1Xs for each of them. And Kennedy also almost puts himself off into the dirt. Let's see if Ryan Martin does it as well. No, Martin does not push himself through that corner like these guys do. And Kennedy, look at him. He's hopping curves and everything, trying to gain ground. There's Klappert. There's Patterson. And man, as I said, Klappert in practice was putting down very competitive lap similarity to Josh Patterson, which made him a guy to look out for, in my opinion. Oh, as Patterson slides a lot more in that corner than I thought he would have. But, I mean, I guess, I don't know. If they stay consistent, Klappert's not going to be able to gain on him. And Klappert loses a little bit there. There's Ethan Harrison down pit road. So unfortunate for Mr. Harrison there, as here's Patterson. Through turn 1. No, through turn 2 as well. and Patterson just continues to put himself ahead of Klappert. I mean, it's relative is staying between about 7 to 10 seconds right now. So, looks like the battle we're mainly going to be focusing on here is going to be 75 of Blake Kennedy and the 34 of Henry Klappert. Because I believe Kennedy gained about a second and a half last lap around. So we're going to see here if Kennedy can make his way up to Henry Klappert. I mean, they're on the same straightaway, but this is a very long front stretch, encompasses most of the racetrack. There's Ryan Martin. He's coming out of the final corner. He's about double the distance back on Blake Kennedy that Kennedy is on Patterson. There's Kennedy through 1, there's Klappert through 2. Summit Point, very interesting racetrack. It's actually kind of thin. It's 2x2. And I mean, you can race here very well. Just depends on the car. As you see right there, it gets kind of thin when you make some of these corners right here. This left-hander right here, you have to be very precise in that corner. It is very easy to mess up that corner. And then right here, this right-hander as well. Summit Point, just an interesting racetrack. As I said, you know, located in Summit Point, West Virginia, more specifically an unincorporated area of Jefferson County. 2-mile racetrack. I wouldn't say it's a world-renowned road course, but I would say Summit Point has its degree of fame for certain things, especially in the iRacing community, as Summit Point, one of, I believe, 3 free road circuits, a lot more than that. There are 3 American circuits in iRacing that are free, that are dedicated to roaded circuits, and that would be Laguna Seca, Lime Rock, and Summit Point. Of course, there's Tsukuba, Okayama, Olton Park, Oran Park. You've got some legacy tracks like Silverstone. Of course, you've got your Rovals, like you got the Charlotte Roval, you've got Legacy Daytona Roval. You can do a full-on road league just by using free road courses. So, iRacing's road content, very prestigious for free guys if you're just looking to bundle up and race. As Klappert right there locked it up on the left-hander. He tries to make his way around. And Kennedy has closed this gap to 3 seconds, according to my relative here. And Ryan Martin is actually closing himself in on the gap. Ryan Martin has made this gap about 5 to 6 seconds to Kennedy, was about 7 to 8. So, there's Patterson. He is checked out from the field. As there's Kennedy making his way around the final corner. There's Klappert. He just crossed the line. And it almost looks like Kennedy hasn't even really gained much ground on Klappert. As crazy as that is to look at. But the points positions are seemingly finalized right now at the moment. As Ryan Martin needed to not finish 4th for Josh Patterson to get this done, so effectively Josh Patterson will finish 3rd place in points, Henry Klappert will finish 4th, and Ryan Martin will finish 2nd in points, with Blake Kennedy being the champ. There's not really a way for Kennedy to lose this to Martin. I mean, Martin had a chance, but Martin had to win this thing basically, and Kennedy had to finish last. And that definitely isn't going to happen, as Kennedy stormed his way to a huge points lead in this race. So Kennedy now is just trying to make himself finish in a little bit better position in this race, of course, as he's locked up the championship. I mean, Kennedy is... there's just not much to say about it. Kennedy has lost ground to Klappert, down to about 5 seconds here. And Ryan Martin's way back there still. I don't know what he did, but he lost close to 10 seconds on Blake Kennedy. I have no idea what happened to Ryan Martin. Not sure if he got loose or something, but you can hear the tires squeal as Kennedy is pushing himself hard to get to Klappert. As the battle for second really is any potential of any battle, I guess, going on the track at the moment. This race going by fairly quickly though, as we're about a third of the way through this thing. Klappert through the final corner. There's Josh Patterson in front of Klappert. Patterson is not out of camera view. Well, he's very close as Kennedy has closed this down to Klappert to about half the straightaway here. So Kennedy once again back on the march to catch Henry Klappert. As Klappert has been running, Klappert and Patterson each actually this week been running a lot of races here at Summit Point, actually in SimLab. SimLab Production Car Challenge to be exact, which is a D-Class, multi-class road series. And of course, Josh Patterson, Josh Patterson's been running a lot of Ricky Mazda races here at Summit Point as well, as Patterson's been working on his backup account. As he's been preparing for the Rolex 24 Hours of Daytona, which actually 4 of these 5 drivers will be participating in, and all of them basically on the same team as actually myself and Josh will be taking on the 24 Hours Daytona, just us two. Henry Klappert and Blake Kennedy will each be taking it on, as Henry Klappert will be teamed with Paul Granata as a duo right there, and then Blake Kennedy will be on a team with, I mean, he's not in the race anymore, but Ethan Harrison. Blake Kennedy will also be on a team with Christian Visconti and then Ethan Workman, who neither of those two are present tonight, but hopefully we see them soon in WORC. Some big events coming up for WORC following this. We're going to have set up an entry list as WORC is going to start themselves up a Chili Bowl event right here in actually just about a week, to be exact, January 17th. Or excuse me, January 16th. Saturday, sorry. We will be running ourselves a Chili Bowl event. Should be a blast, to be honest. That's the hope. Gonna put up $15 to win, and that'll also be broadcast as well. We're not too sure on a tentative broadcast date for there, but wow. I mean, after the Chili Bowl, of course, you got the 24 Hours of Daytona, where we'll be in their little off season. Actually, our off season technically starts after today. But then, as I mentioned earlier, $25 to win Daytona International Speedway for the Truck Series opener. As hopefully we'll pull a full field for that. $25 to win. That'll be broadcast and all that jazz. And then first Sunday of February. I don't remember the exact date. I believe it's February 7th. I want to say something like that. Sports Car Series begins at Daytona, as we will be piloting. Our official car list for that is Lamborghini GT3. Got the Mercedes GT3, and then I believe we also put the trying to think of what third GT3 car we put on there. Don't quite remember. Oh, the Audi GT3. That's the third car we put on that list. And then of course you also have GTEs. We're gonna have the Corvette GTE car in there. We're gonna have the Porsche, and we're gonna have the BMW GTE in there. So got a good list of cars there, and we also are including the dollar LMP2. So 7 different cars to choose from, obviously 3 different classes of racing, and that'll surely be a fun league to run. We're excited for it here at WORC. Of course, on top of all of that, Dirt Late Model Series on Tuesday nights, I believe February 2nd, if I remember correctly, is the day that that'll be running. So, lots of fun things going on. As meanwhile, I'm not sure if you guys have noticed watching that camera while I was blabbing on about future WORC events, but Blake Kennedy is closing quite a bit on Aaron Klappert, as this battle for second is going to heat up with about halfway through this race. So we man, I don't even know really what to say. This is I don't know, man. This is this has been a very calm calm race other than that first wreck, and it's I don't know, man. I'm just hoping to see this battle take fruition here. Ryan Martin is 53 seconds back and counting. He has lost a ton of time on Kennedy and Klappert, and we don't even have to highlight Josh Patterson. He is 25 seconds ahead of the field, dude. Josh Patterson, I don't know how he doesn't get bored in these races, to be honest. You know, unless he makes a crucial driver mistake, which rarely happens out of him. Obviously, we'll be seeing Josh go to victory lane yet another time. Fortunately, not for much other than a win on the stat sheet, as Mr. Patterson cannot advance his place in the points due to Ryan Martin finishing 4th here. He's guaranteed to finish 4th. As Klappert messes up that corner, gets a little loose. Kennedy a lot smoother through the corner. And this gap down to about a second and a half now between Klappert and Kennedy. I'm interested to see if Kennedy is able to catch Klappert to take P2. As on that last lap, by the way, Josh Patterson ran a 1:23.0. They were quite a few laps further into practice than that when they were running those lap times, so they've gotten faster than they were in practice. So that's insane. So the main reason now we keep watching Aaron Klappert is because Blake Kennedy just keeps getting closer to him. And I can almost hear the Jaws music playing as Kennedy starts to hunt Mr. Klappert down. As wow, you could just tell the speed difference right there of Kennedy pushing it through that corner, Klappert taking it a little bit easier. And you possibly have to wonder here if that means Klappert is saving his tires up more, or if they really don't know if tires matter here. I mean, there's even a good chance that these guys may or may not have to pit for fuel. It's kind of dependent on how much fuel they use, really depending on how hard they push and whatnot. A fuel run in these cars, I believe, should be about 20 to 25 laps. On the ovals, it was about 20 to 25 laps as well, I believe, if I remember correctly. So you'd think the road courses would be less, but I believe these guys can actually make about 20 laps on fuel normally. It just depends on the lobby settings. I don't believe we had a pit stop at the Roval, if I remember correctly. So, and Josh Patterson into the 122s now, as we're going to keep an update on that. His lap time's just continuing to impress. As Klappert spins himself out in turn 1. And we're not even going to get to see a battle of Klappert versus Kennedy. Kennedy's easily going to pull by him as Klappert makes a fatal mistake. And this just all goes to show, you know, Patterson pulled out to about an 8-second lead when that big wreck happened that took out basically everybody. And if the caution was properly thrown in that moment, you have to wonder what would have happened. Would Kennedy be faster? He'd get his wing repaired. Would Klappert have had more of a chance, as Kennedy almost spends himself there? I mean, that's just the kind of things you have to wonder here, if that caution had come out properly. As Ryan Martin, I believe, is about to get lapped, actually. As there's Patterson, and there's Martin. Martin way off into the sand trap. And Ryan Martin, a WORC Ironman, basically. I believe with this race, either this or the next race, Ryan Martin claims the top spot for most starts by any driver in WORC's history. So, as I just mentioned, Ryan Martin truly our Ironman here. However, Henry Klappert, who didn't even own iRacing when WORC started, Henry Klappert's getting up there in starts as well. He's got upwards of 40, I believe. Ryan Martin's upwards of 50. So, Klappert not too far behind. Klappert's debut race was in the Street Stock Series at Phoenix. That was back in May of 2020. As WORC is almost a year old now. March 26, 2020 was our first ever race, as we took to the high banks of Daytona in street stocks, and a little fun experience there, putting those things up there at Daytona. And that was actually my first ever league start. And I got top 3, so that was kind of a fun moment for me, getting P3 on my first ever start. Of course, WORC has advanced and evolved, and car counts always changed and varied. It depends on the series, but we're trying to bring back things that we know everybody likes, and hope to see everyone join us on our journey as we expand to 3 leagues running at the same time with dirt late models and sports cars, all that. And I actually was mistaken on the sports car date. I believe it's actually February 1st that the sports cars begin for their season as sports car, or excuse me, it's actually January 31st. Just went and looked at the calendar, pulled that up, because we are not scheduling anything on February 7th because that's Super Bowl Sunday. So we don't want to do anything there. Obviously, overscheduling the Super Bowl would kind of be a mistake. Of course, talking about the football, you know, playoffs in full effect, and not sure how many of you guys watching are football fans, but if you are, then I'm sorry if you're a Bears fan, because you're getting crushed right now by the Saints. So, man, there's not much to talk about at this point other than 8 laps to go. Patterson commanding this one, and Kennedy and Klappert about 6 seconds apart. So Ryan Martin, I believe, may be getting lapped soon. I would assume probably here within the next 4 or 5 laps, maybe, as he is over a minute back on Josh Patterson. And Josh Patterson is running about 122s. Ryan Martin's running about 130s as Patterson pushes that thing way off track. And if Patterson's gotten enough off tracks, I know he was struggling with off tracks in practice, Patterson may actually have an issue that he may have to pit, serve a drive-through penalty for hitting the incident limit. We have 2 incident limits here in WORC. I believe for our road courses it's 22x for a drive-through, and it's like 25x, I believe, for a penalty. I don't remember exactly what it is for the DQ. We have varying incident limits for everything. As you can see Ryan Martin there at the front of the straightaway, so Josh Patterson sees him. I don't know, man. I sit here and I watch these real courses, and I'm glad we put a sports car series in there, because Even though with lower car counts and we get some races like this where Josh Patterson just goes out and dominates sports car, it's a whole different race. You know, it's not a lap race, it's a timed race. You know, you have a little bit of endurance in there. You you have a lot of driver mistake, and you'll probably have a lot more cars. You'll have a lot more people interested in it, to be honest, probably. And I mean, there's just a lot of things, a lot of elements involved, but we're hoping to get the ship rocking here in 2021 as WORC is looking to make it the best year yet for our league in general. I mean, I did mention our first WORC race on iRacing was March 26, 2020. Before that, our playground used to be on NASCAR Heat and all that games, and probably wasn't our best decision to run a league on NASCAR Heat, but here we are now on iRacing, and it's been a fun journey so far. We've met some interesting people, good and bad. We've learned a lot about communities and such, and it's just been fun to be here. As Josh Patterson right there, Ryan Martin right there. So, Martin into turn 2 now, Patterson at the end of the front stretch. And with 6 laps to go, I think Patterson's going to be able to get him. Here's Kennedy, and Klappert is still there. In a way, Klappert can still see him in front of him. But Klappert hasn't really been able to gain any time on Kennedy. And it sucks for Klappert. He was running second most of the race. I mean, he got kind of screwed by that big wreck. He had to check up for it, and everyone had no chance at Josh Patterson. But, man. Henrik Klappert, absolutely. He's driven a good race today compared to his usual. Klappert, not usually one of the fastest guys out there, but he makes it work. And that's the most important thing for him, is that Klappert makes it work. And, you know, he's got 0 league wins. He's becoming, as I mentioned, kind of like our second Ironman behind Ryan Martin. As he's made a lot of starts in WORC. He's dedicated every week, week in and week out. He's put himself in an admin role, and I mean, as has Blake Kennedy. But I'm hoping soon that we'll see a breakout from Henrik Klappert. I don't see him not winning a race. I mean, as I said, $25 to win at Daytona. I'm seeing that.
Hey guys, I won again. Yay, 3 for 3 on road course. Get fucked.
And here we are, Blake Kennedy and Josh Patterson burning it down here as for some reason game audio has glitched out for us, but that's alright guys. As you see Kennedy burning it down, he said these things are hard to do burnouts in, and that him and Patterson each doing burnouts here to celebrate as Patterson wins and Kennedy is your champion. And now we will go and we're going to go back into commercial break real quick, and we will just be back in a moment. Alright guys, we are back here live on WORC TV, and we've got your champion in the booth, Blake Kennedy. Blake, do you got a copy?
Yes, I do.
Blake, well, I mean, we said it before the race, but you basically unofficially won the championship then. Officially now, however, Blake Kennedy, you are a champion. How does it feel?
It feels great, you know. Pretty new to this iRacing stuff with leagues, and it's only my third, like third or fourth season, my second full season in the league, and you know, to get a championship this early is definitely motivating, you know, for sure. Especially on a series that has both ovals and road courses.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, obviously, you proved most of your worth at the ovals. Of course, it's where you won your first race this season at Bristol. And on top of that, of course, you lost the other two oval races in photo finishes where you unfortunately were on the losing end of. So I imagine that the ovals fed your confidence a little bit. And of course, I mean, you weren't really necessarily a slouch on the road courses either. You came back from an early wreck here earlier today where it would pass Henry Klappert, and then we got to watch you here burn it down. So congratulations, Blake Kennedy, on your championship, man. Couldn't have happened to any guy that's better.
Man, thank you.
All right, guys, that was Blake Kennedy, your champion here. Now we're going to move over to the guy right next to him here in these burnouts. That's Josh Patterson, your race winner. Josh, you got a copy?
Hold on a second. I'd like to take a second to bring back our champion here, Blake Kennedy. Do you have anybody you'd like to thank tonight, Blake?
I guess
You can
I can't ask.
undeafen him.
Blake is going to get another questionnaire after the interview, so if you would kindly just answer your interview questions, Cowboy.
I'd like to hear who we'd like to thank, because
Okay,
that
well,
one
he's
was
thanking
skipped out on.
people. He's not, it wasn't skipped out on. He's going to get another interview. All right, Josh Patterson doesn't get an interview, so Blake Kennedy, we're just going to finish off with you. You got anybody you'd like to thank tonight?
I'd like to thank my team owner for giving me another fast car, even though we wrecked it today. I was still able to drive back up to P2. Whatever second. That's my name. 5 out of 8 races this season. I finished second. Shout out to Mr. Ocean CM3882 on YouTube, and shout out to Henry Clapper for giving me another second place finish.
Yeah, Henry definitely kind of handed that one to you. All right, guys. Well, that will conclude our JP Designs Open Wheel Tour season. It's been a fun season, guys, and we're glad to have brought you guys along with us here on WORC TV. And next season, I guess this year in general, in 2021, expect bigger, better things. As we're making the next step, and I hope everybody is on board with that. Congratulations, Blake Kennedy, on your championship, and Josh Patterson on your win. Unfortunately, Josh decided to decline the interview there at the end, so we're just going to move on, and we will see you guys hopefully for the World Online Racing Championship Chili Bowl. That is next Saturday night. Hope to see you guys come join us, and if you're more than interested in coming to race with us, feel free to join our Discord. Link is in the bio, and don't forget to check out our league on iRacing. World Online Racing Championship is the league name. Thank you to our sponsor, JP Designs, for this season. Not sure if JP Designs will be returning as a series sponsor for us in the future, but we also got to thank our other series sponsor, our other title sponsor for the season, Mr. Ocean CM3882 on YouTube, so go check him out. And yeah, we will talk with everyone else later. Thank you for watching. This is WORC TV.